Amanda, and Derek. I'll give a briefing to everybody, but it's just you and I in here right now. They're getting in their headsets. So you have a microphone right in between the seats right here. See, it looks like a little tan thing with a button on it. The curly cord. There's got to be someplace down in there. Curly cord. Perfect. Now you're going to be sharing that with Tim. Steph and Chris, you up with me already? What up? How you guys doing? Now you'll be sharing that microphone. Now, where are you guys all from? Use a microphone.
Chicago.
Chicago?
We're from New York.
New York?
Australian origin.
Nice. Now where are y'all staying at?
We're in Kapula.
Kapula? Where's Kapula?
Kapalua.
Oh, Kapula. Ritz, Montage, where are we at?
The Ritz.
And then you guys, where are you staying at?
We're at the Sheraton with no staff.
I'm sorry. I'll try to take better care of you today. Crazy, like some of the people that work here at Blue used to work for Marriott and all blah blah blah. They said they were offering $22 or $23 an hour. Hourly wage just to go over there and do something. I'm like, that sounds lucrative, but then you got to do it 1099 and all that BS. No, I'm good. I want my time off. I want to go work. Anyways, does everybody have a headset on now? Alright, now you two, back here. Make sure, first off, who we got back? David, take the lens cap off. That's number 1. Number 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, whatever. Aloha, everyone. My name is Derek. I'm going to be taking care of y'all today. So, I want to go over a couple of basics before we get started here. If I cut out while I'm talking to you, hashtag no big deal. Yeah, there's a lot of radio calls going around the islands, and I'm constantly paying attention to prior safety. So if I cut out in commentary, or if you guys ask a question and I don't respond right away, I'll come back. If I hear the mics click like this, kids normally do it that many times, but if I hear that, I'll come back and say again, because I'll hear it while I'm hearing radio calls or giving radio calls. So the next thing is has anybody flown in a helicopter before? No? You guys have? Or at least they know what's going on. This is my first time. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. No. Sorry, I like messing with you. My biggest concern is, did you all watch the briefing video inside? Everybody's good with that? Alright, let's go live the dream. I like to do it my way, like a movie, and all I add stuff in. But anyways, I'm going to be off intercom system for a little bit while I'm on with Tower. So you guys just sit back, relax. You can talk to you, whatever. Just enjoy it. Let's go do it. I'll be on with you at about 5 minutes once we get outside the Kahului airspace. Here we go. All right, sweet, I'm with you. We're climbing above Waihu Golf Course right down to our left. This is Waihe Valley. We're going to go into Waihe Valley all the way to the back of the Haleakalā Valley. Well, not quite, almost. This place is amazing. This is the West Mountains. They're extinct at this point. Haleakalā behind us erupts every 200 to 500 years. If I give you a timeline here, I know I'm wrong because I wasn't there, and neither were you guys, right? Unless you were resurrected from that time, but then when did people get here on it? I don't know. You guys, this is going to be amazing. It's beautiful weather today. There's going to be areas, some places on the windward side where there's going to be a little bit of turbulence. So yeah, I'm anticipating a couple of bumps, but overall it's going to be pretty smooth throughout the entire flight, except when we come back. When we come back, it's going to be quite bumpy as we go into Laniapoko, Olowalu, Waikapu valleys over here. Now, I didn't get quite into David and Maryland back there. Where are y'all from? Where are you staying at, David, Maryland?
Honolulu, West End.
Where are you from?
Oh, Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, Vancouver. I was born and raised Paulsbo, and I lived in Portland, Bend, Oregon. Yeah, I was born and raised there. Since 1980, I was nursing when St. Helens erupted. And we talk about strato and shield volcanoes, very much shield volcanoes here in Hawaii. So I can sit here and like rip through a lot of information, but I want you guys to enjoy this. I want to take you to the goods, where the goods are at. I'm going to take you to the biggest falls on Maui, called Haleakalā Falls, right now. We're going by First Falls. We got the keyhole. We're going to go right up over the keyhole for an old amazing lava dome up top there, that plateau right above us, at about 11:30 to 12. Right above that, it's just a lava dome up there. It's an old area. Anyways, we're going to go right by it on the right side and go into Haleakalā Valley for Haleakalā Falls. Now looking to the right, Molokai, over to our right. We're going to head down there shortly. I want to get you into the goods here, and then we're going to go directly over there for the goods. Now if you have any questions, feel free. But like I said, I like to do a movie style. Let's rock out to this stuff. Alright, David, Maryland, I'm going to bring it to the right for you. There we go. See all these scars in the back here? This is all from Hurricane Olivia as it approached from the northeast here in Hawaii. The eye of the storm as it dissipated to a tropical storm and right over the front of Haleakalā, like right in the bay area, and the mass of that system was on the north side. All the rain went into Molokai. There's a lot of scars over there from it as well in the backs of the valleys. Now, this is exactly what you get when you get these big hurricanes approaching the islands, and also during the wintertime. Like yesterday, Molokai received a ton of rainfall. Yay! I haven't seen it yet today. We'll see how it looks as time goes along. Water flow starts to come down. So, yeah, we're going to see it good because we've had heavy rainfall yesterday. But when you hit it right at that very moment, there's nothing like it. You can't even time this because if you get these big rainstorms coming in, we don't know if we're going to be flying or not. It all depends on the visibility and the height of the clouds. Right now, we've got a height of clouds right around almost 3,000 feet, which is phenomenal. Like 3,200 feet right now, right where the base of the clouds are. Now, typically, the weather systems here in Hawaii are pretty much controlled by the trade winds. Trade winds come from the east to northeast, north of the equator, of course, going through the islands. And you have the windward side facing them and the leeward side away from it. Now, we're going to continue straight line all the way north of the plantation course down here for Honolulu Bay. You got an awesome wave ripping around the point there. Honolulu Bay is one of the best spots to surf on the west side. You got a lot of competitions there held in the wintertime, typically when the waves are really big in the winter. So I'm going to switch over on frequency as we descend out of 3,300 feet. You might want to work on popping your ears a little bit. We'll get down to about 800 feet. Here, you're right on kind of the cusp of windward and leeward. Right now, it's all open all the way over. Jeez, look at this. It's amazing. Typically, really low clouds. You'd even be in the clouds here most of the time when it comes to trade winds. Now, looking down below us, see on the left side down here, Maryland, all these light green trees. These light green leaf trees. Do we have any on the right side? We got a couple of them down in the Haleakalā Valley. Those are kukui trees. It's what you find on the necklaces nowadays. You guys heard, hear that necklace lei is called kukui nut lei. That's very specific to an introduced plant here, or tree, that was introduced by the Polynesians as a source of fire. The highest point on the West Maui's above Haleakalā Falls is called Pu'u Kukui, named after the kukui tree. It's up at 5,788 feet. Resort on the point there. You got Kapalua Beach, Napili Bay, Merriman's. Oh my word, you gotta go to Merriman's. It's amazing. They also own Monkey Paw down in Whalers Village and over in Wailea. You got the Ritz-Carlton right in front of us. D.T. Fleming Beach just right to the left of the Dragon's Tooth down below. There's so much history with D.T. Fleming. He was a famous arborist for the Baldwin family. He's just a really popular guy. It's pretty awesome. He saved the cattle industry by introducing the gallfly, wiped out a big introduced weed here on the islands, like going into the 1900s, saved the cattle industry. That's why they call it D.T. Fleming Beach. Now over to the right, Honolulu Bay. See how brown the water is in there? Nobody's snorkeling right now, but surfing, yeah. People just surf that up all the time. one of the best spots over here on the west side for snorkeling. Now we're going to depart Honolulu, we're going to cross the Pailolo Channel. I'll be right back with you. Alright, let's go over a couple of details here. Is anybody's first time to the Hawaiian Islands? Guys, first time? Okay, so you have 1,500 miles, 132 islands in total. Every island is moving off of the Pacific tectonic plate here at about 7 centimeters a year, so you kind of have a timeline based off of that. Here at Molokai, it's roughly about 2.3 this side of the island to 2.6 million years old. I don't know. It's a guesstimate. It's hard to say. But you have two major volcanoes here. We can see the top of one over here to the left, and then there's a small one further on the southwest side. On the leeward side that we don't necessarily visit ever on these tours. We typically go over here for the viewing of the largest sea cliffs in the entire world. Oh my gosh! They're amazing. We've got the tallest waterfall in the state over here because they're so big. And I won't be talking too much over there, but you look at the size of Molokai. It's roughly 240 square miles, 260 square miles, lost 20 there, I don't know why. Anyways, got 7,500 people over here compared to Maui, about 150,000 people on Maui alone. Throughout the entire state, we have about 1.7 million people. Most of the people live on Oahu, of course, and then the neighboring islands kind of spread throughout. A big island, about 180,000, is almost, 130,000 on Kauai. Yeah, so you kind of have an idea here. Now, when we look at that, this day and age, there's 1.7 million people here. And when the peak of the Hawaiian population was as high as over 2 million people. It's pretty incredible. Now, there's a lot of history there that we can go over. I don't like to touch on everything. I'll touch on some basics as we get back to the West Mauis. There's some pretty interesting stories about the West Mauis and the history of the monarchy here. Looking in front of us, we got Elephant Rock in front of us. A beautiful northeast side is all windward side. You got Cape Lava running 38 miles down to the southwest side. You got an amazing long reef over here to the left. This is the longest natural continuous reef in the United States of America. And as we climb on shore, we're going to go over this ranch right on shore. We're going to go climb up right over the sea cliffs. Does anybody have any questions right now? Everybody doing all right? It's Elephant Rock and Kapalua. You're going to hear stories about it, maybe, but there's only one tour that comes over here to that. No snorkeling tours come over to Molokai just because crossing the Pailolo Channel is always pretty significant winds. But when it comes to diving around here, one of the famous dives around here is diving with hammerhead sharks, and it's just on the west side of Elephant Rock. You can see conditions aren't really good right now. Nobody's over here. That's a pretty popular tour for divers. Up on shore, and we did the specifics here. Hawaii is the furthest archipelago from any landmass in the entire world. There's a great amount of endemic species and native species here located no place else on Earth. There's an astounding number is that 25% of the Endangered Species Act alone is located in the state of Hawaii. When we look at that, over the timeline, the course of people being introduced here from the Polynesians, the Marquesans, the Tahitians specifically first, you have a great deal of introduced species as well that have wiped out certain things on the islands, specifically birds and other types of small insects. Now looking at that large amount of introduced animals, you have axis deer, you have pigs, goats, mouflon sheep. Some places you have feral cattle, donkeys that get out. You have a ton of birds from turkeys, chukars, francolins, The myna is introduced for bug control, and then you look at chukars and pheasants and quail. There's abundance of them. They were all introduced as food sources, and they have no natural predators, specifically the big ones like the pigs and the axis deer and the mouflon sheep and the goats. And so we do hunt them year-round. Here in Haleakalā Valley in front of us, it's really popular hunting up above and then hiking back to Haleakalā Falls. We're just about to Haleakalā Falls now. So Dave and Marilyn, be ready on the left side. I'm going to do an S-turn right in the back of Haleakalā Valley. It's going to be kind of turbulent right through here as that wind's coming over the cliffs. We've got about a 20-knot wind right now. I'm going to keep it up high, bringing it to the right. Pretty on the right side. Dave and Marilyn looking to the left. I know you guys are looking right, but that's Haleakalā Bay to our left. Now the only access to the sea cliffs here, all the way over to the famous Kalapapa Peninsula where the leprosy colony was, is either boat or helicopter. So not very many people get to see it. We definitely fly over here almost every single day of the year. Waterfall at 1,780 feet all the way up top. Bringing it to the right, David, man. There you go. Look at that visibility all the way to Oahu. The whole Ko'olau range you can see. Ko'olau means northeast horizon in Hawaiian. Kaiwa Falls here to the left, 2,100 feet top to bottom. And the cliffs steadily rise to about 2,400 feet here. They drop into the biggest erosional valley here on Molokai. This is called Wailau. It means many waters in Hawaiian. In front of us you have the Haloku Cliffs. Tallest sea cliffs in the entire world, 3,316 feet. The first waterfall in front of us is called the Veil. Down below us, what are we, 900 feet, almost 1,000 feet, so about 900 feet there. It drops straight down. falls is known as Wailele in Hawaiian. I'm going to do an orbit right in front of them for both sides. We got Olupena Falls coming up. It's the tallest waterfalls in the state at 2,985 feet. Haleakalā is a famous place in Hawaii where you can hike down the cliffs or ride mules down the cliffs of Molokai to the Kalaupapa Peninsula, which is where the leprosy colony was. It's a pretty crazy event that took place there. They didn't know what to do. The U.S. collaborated with the monarchy as well, Queen Lily at the end in 1893, but leprosy took over big time here, and it affected about 15% of the population. And they banished them to this very peninsula. It's also the last lava flow on Molokai. It's about 3,000 years old. Now I'm going to switch up the music here as we go into Pelikunu here to the left. Highest point, Kamakau Peak, goes up 4,970 feet here to our right in the clouds. I don't even want to talk, look at those clouds just peeling over the top. You just cross the Razorback Ridge here into the back of Wailau. Pelikunu is untouched. There's a couple of houses in the front of Wailau that are completely off-grid. The back of Wailau is completely untouched as well. Some of the most pristine land in all Hawaiian Islands right here. Trying to get the shot for you guys. This is Maui Nui, Maui Great right here, Lanai, Kaulave, Maui and Molokai. Maui Nui is Maui Great. They all erupt around 1.5 million years apart. And consider the size of the big island, it's still bigger than the 4 islands grouped here together. I know it's bumpy. We're going to continue right down at our 12 o'clock, go offshore for the reef. How's everybody doing motion-wise? We good? Beautiful. That's all leeward side. This is the Kamalo Gulch that goes up here to the right. You can see how dry it is on these ridges through here. Typically it's pretty strong winds coming through here. And leeward, as much as it's green right now, typically from the beginning of summer to the beginning of winter, right around mid-December, that's normally always very, very brown. But with all the rain that we've had, records broke in August and September. We've had a ton of rainfall here. It's just been incredible. Looking at this reef to the left and right, you can see a bunch of these half circles and somewhat circles. These are all fish ponds, local ias. We talked about that peak population, how high it was. They utilize this reef extensively. There's 125 local ias across this reef. Steph and Chris, I'm bringing it around to the left so you guys get a good shot of the reef on this side looking out this way to the northeast. See it right above the shadow here, just above it. Got some manta rays down there hanging out. These are all reef manta rays. They typically get between 10 and 14 feet for the adults. Not like those giant oceanic manta rays that get up to 24 feet to cross. You could literally park a car on top of them. Or a helicopter. Alright, we're heading straight towards Kaupali in Lahaina. I'm going to go ahead and switch on frequency. How's everybody doing? This is a little bit bumpier today. These north winds, not too typical with a trade wind, but they're switching over to a trade wind as that system moves past the big island of Hawaii way out in front of us. You can even see Mount Aloha on the big island way out in front of us off the south side of Haleakalā there. That's straight out towards Mauna Loa on the Big Island. All right, I'm going to switch over. Does anybody have any questions right now as they leave the friendly aisle? I know what it was like coming over here for the first time. I flew over here on 5 different flights before I started doing tours, and it was interesting. Like, there's so much to see in such a quick period of time. To sit here and talk continuously. The different pilots would talk continuously the whole time, and I was like, "What are you doing? Put some music to it." I would take my headset off because I just couldn't. There was so much stimulation visually. I was like, "Yeah, just give me some music. I don't want to hear it." There's a lot of details you can look up afterwards, but it's like finding out about key details here. When we talk about the Hawaiian Islands, we talk about the Hawaiians being here first. As they thrived throughout the Hawaiian Islands, they were all at war with each other. So like the Big Island, Maui, Molokai, not as much as Molokai, but Oahu and then Kauai. They were all different tribes basically here. And we go into when really things started to turn was right around Captain James Cook, 1778. That's January when he landed on Kauai, and he went over to the Big Island, hung out with the Ali'i Nui Kamehameha, which Ali'i Nui, great chief, Kamehameha. And I want to tell you this because Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to be starring as the king, coming out in a movie that's starting production 2020. So hopefully 2021, 2022, we'll see something that's going to be amazing from Hawaii, starring The Rock. Now, when we get into that, Kamehameha was born basically a king already on the Big Island, going into the royal family over there. Now, as he came over here, he wanted to conquer Maui first because it was right next to the Hawaii. And we talk about why is exactly why. Why? Water. Why is wealth in Hawaiian. Why is water. You controlled water, you controlled everything. And West Maui's have over 40 feet of rainfall a year. Some years more, some years less. Right now we're well over 40 feet there in the West Maui's, but considering that, that's how they fed everyone with the water. Here in Lahaina, that was the royal capital of the Hawaiian Kingdom from 1820 to 1845. That just gives you some perspective and timeline events around here. But he came over here in 1790 into the valley of Iao, which we'll be going into. And that's where the Battle of Cape Anivai took place. He had a couple of cannons from Captain James Cook, came over here with 10,000 soldiers, wiped out Maui. They all escaped to Iao, where it was an area of protection. And they didn't know that he had the cannons, and he wiped them out. He moved across into Oahu in 1893. There was a massacre there. And 1793. And in 1795, he made an agreement with the Ali'i of Kauai, and was like, "Yo, what's up? You want to go down like Oahu and Maui did?" And he's like, "No, I don't. I like my garden isle." So they signed an agreement. Boom. 1795. The first king. Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Anyways, moving along from there. You guys staying at the Westin Kaanapali. Now, is it the Nanea Ocean Resort Villas? Who's staying at the Westin?
We're at the Westin Resort Villas, yes.
Resort Villas. So further north of Black Hawk here, you got several Westin properties, and then there's the spa and resort right next to Whalers Village. Now, where's everybody else? You guys staying Kapalua? Where are you guys staying at?
We're the Sheraton.
Sheraton, right. So how much time I got? Well, we're just going to cruise right through here because I want to get you into the West Maui's and experience that without going over our time. So looking at this area, Kaanapali is the first destination resort area in all of Hawaii. It started in the late 60s into the 70s here, where it started growing in size. And you look at like what it was before. Obviously, the Hawaiians thrived here with the fertile land, but when it comes to the plantations, abundant plantations over here from sugarcane and pineapple. Over to our right, Lanai was the biggest pineapple producer in the entire world. What? It's kind of crazy. Owned by the Dole family initially, and then 2012, after it exchanged hands with several groups, Larry Ellison, the CEO of Oracle, purchased that island. 98% of it for basically $1 billion, but he put everything together. It was $450 million for the land, and then $250 million a piece for each of the 4 seasons over there. Very amazing place. Alright, let's switch up the music as we continue towards the harbor here. Now, I have been looking for whales while I've been talking, but it's very, very early season. There's a couple of whales out here. I've seen 8 so far on 3 different occasions, so I don't know. The chance is a needle in the haystack right now. We got really strong winds. We got 20 knots up here. I'm estimating about 30 knots right down on the surface. We're at 800 feet right now. Has anybody done any snorkeling to the south side of Lanai? You guys went? How was it?
It was good. Actually, I'm at the south side of Maui. We didn't go to Lanai.
Do you remember the group that you went with, the company?
Yeah, it was the Tiki people, the Tiki team. It was Maui Eco Tours.
Nice.
They were good. It was a kayak and snorkeling tour. It was awesome.
Was that yesterday?
It was, yes.
Oh boy, how was the weather?
Yeah, it actually held up pretty good. We started first thing in the morning, so it was pretty calm.
Oh, that's good.
Started picking it up.
Nice. You got the Black Rock over to the left. If you guys go snorkeling there, right in that little cove, you can do that. If you get out much further past that, there's a current there that runs this way, and a lot of times people get caught up in it. Those winds are pretty strong right now, right off of Black Rock. But in the cove, it's literally perfect. Beautiful Kanapali Beach. You guys gotta go to the Monkey Pod in Whalers Village. Has anybody been to Monkey Pod yet? It's phenomenal. A lot of people say it's the best Mai Tai they have. You probably do 2, 3, 4, even 5 of them. They're $13 a piece, but it's totally worth it. Food there is phenomenal. And you got, what is it, Ray's right here in the Kanapali golf courses, right at the front door entrance. That's a really good restaurant as well. You got Lahaina Grill. There's numerous places to eat on Front Street over here in Lahaina. I would definitely recommend that. Now, Monkey Pod is owned by Merriman's, which is up in that Merriman's place up near Napili and Kapalua Beach. And it's all locally sourced food, so it's super good. Looking at this area, like I said, a bunch of sugarcane and pineapple. Over here to the left, the biggest plantation we have is the Maui coffee plantation. It's definitely growing in size. I'm going to switch over on frequency. Does anybody have any questions about this area? It's crazy. Look how green it is. It's never like this at this time of year. It's always super, super brown all through here. With Hurricane Lane, it came from the south. It was a Category 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, tropical storm. Brought a bunch of winds here and started a fire. All the way up Malka, the solar farm here, up towards the Big L. The fire started up here and went all the way down across the Lahaina bypass towards the Malka side of the town down there where the pool is. It's going to get quite a few bumpy areas in front of us. We're going to go right by the Big L on the hillside here and go towards a valley called Laniapoko. That'll be our entrance into the middle, the center of the West Maui. A little bit of history of this area as we're looking at it, because we're going to go into Laniapoko and then straight towards Kahalui from there. You got Molokini Crater out there, Ka'ualave. Ka'ualave was a bombing range from 1992, or from 1940 to 1992. So there's a lot of unexploded ordnance over there. That's why there's no tourism over there whatsoever. Down to the right of us, there's a catamaran over here. Hanging out just to the left of it's a little tugboat. That's the Atlantis submarine. It goes down to 150 feet there. I'd highly recommend that one too. It's a good experience. Right out of Lahaina they go. You know I had to play that song, David Maryland. I hear stories from all over the world. People coming here, they sometimes experience all the islands in one major trip, depending on what they're doing. And hearing the stories from Pearl Harbor and what good old Elvis did for their families over there that were affected. Put together a bunch of concerts, and all the proceeds and all of it just went straight to the victims of Pearl Harbor. Anyways, coming into the back of Laniapoka, looking towards Haleakalā in the distance. This is absolutely amazing. Got Olowalu right down in front of us in the valley of Iao, where the Battle of Cape Honeyvine took place, just across that Razorback Ridge. It's an old volcano with all these erosional valleys. When we talk about water, just to give you some perspective, September 13, 2016 in Iao, they had a big rain event in here that dumped 5 inches of rainfall per hour for over 24 hours. It wiped out the Iao State Park down below where the parking area is down here. They rebuilt it over 2017, so yeah, it holds a lot of water here. As we continue to the right, we're going to go into Waikapu looking at Haleakalā, and I'm going to have to contact Tower here fairly shortly. If anybody has any questions, feel free. Shutting down when we get back to the heliport. They might refuel me and move me back. I'll let you know when we get on the ground, but I'll give you a briefing on the ground. I do need to contact Tower right now as we go over to Maui Tropical Plantation. We'll be inbound over the old sugarcane fields inbound to Kahului. bring it up to pad 2 here. I'm going to be shutting down the aircraft, but we did about 2.5 minutes to get the aircraft completely shut down. It's busy on towers, non-stop in here. All right, let's do the celebration on the inside camera right here. Right here, little Aloha. You guys want to share some love. Thank you for flying with us on Blue Hawaiian, Maui and Molokai flight. Yeah, it's truly amazing. A little bit bumpy today, but still great visibility. All right, so I'm going to take care of the paperwork and the video. You guys, I'm on with you now.